How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, make sure you go down and subscribe before we get into the video. I'm very excited for this one because we're doing the very first modification to my Ford Bronco. I've had the Bronco for a couple of months now, almost 5,000 miles on the vehicle actually, but we haven't done any modifications. I've been waiting to do this one for a little bit now. I did an unboxing of the lights for the Bronco. We're doing new headlights, so without further ado, I guess we should get the Bronco in the garage. If you guys missed the video from a couple of days ago, I washed up the Mustang and it's actually looking pretty decent. It has a couple of water streaks on it, but hey, it's clean and not dusty. And more importantly, the Bronco's eruption green is absolutely shining, and this footstep on both sides was absolutely filthy. But that eruption green paint with the Kona blue paint is an amazing combo. That being said, let's get the Bronco in the garage and let's change out these stock headlights for some new ones. Alright, so I have the Bronco in the garage. But before we start disassembly, let's actually take a look at the new headlights that we have. I got these lights sent to me by Morimoto. They make a ton of aftermarket lighting modification for a bunch of different vehicles, but specifically they make aftermarket Bronco headlights. Now, if you guys don't have the upgraded LED headlights, my Bronco has them, and even then I'm doing this upgrade. But if you don't have the upgraded LED headlights, I highly suggest you look into aftermarket options because it'll completely transform the look of your Bronco, especially when those lights are on. That being said, let's actually look at the lights. If you guys didn't miss the unboxing video, I'll link it up here if you want to go there and come back to this video. But essentially, we just unboxed this one light here. This is the right headlight, so it is actually going to sit the other way around, and it is going to be like so. A little hard getting a little glare from the sun there, but this is what the headlight is going to look like. Obviously, I'm going to do a better job and light these up at night. So first things first, these retain all the factory settings and everything like that, plus they're as bright, DOT approved, and everything like that. They are also plug and play. But another thing that the factory headlights don't option is you can get white headlights like the factory has. You can go amber, or you can go RGB and get any color you really want to get. Now, I'm not going to lie, I could go back into the email and look at if these are white or amber. I decided not to go with RGB because I like to keep it classy and simple. If you want to go with some bright, loud colors, that's not how I'm speccing my Bronco and modifying my Bronco, but totally see why you would want to go with some different colors. If you want to get a pair for yourself or you want to look into them, I have a link in the description down below, so make sure you guys go check them out if you are interested. That being said, let's get the old factory lights out and get these lights in and check out how they look in the daytime and then check out how they look in the nighttime. Before we start the installation, here are all the tools that we're going to need. We're going to need a 10mm and an 8mm, just good to have a set around if you need to use any other tools. We're also going to need either a metal pry tool or a plastic pry tool. In this case, I think the metal one should suffice. So we have to start off by taking the front grille off. In order to get the front grille off, we have to pop the hood. So we got the hood propped up. You guys can see that 2.7 liter, but let's ignore that for now. We need to get this trim piece off in order to get to the bolts underneath it. So this air box is connected to this top trim piece here. We probably don't have to move this out of the way. If we look here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we take all 8 of these off, we should be able to just move this out of the way and get to the bolts underneath this for the grill. So in order to get these push pins off, all you do is kind of push here, and then you should be able to get your pry tool on the bottom, and then simply go like that, and then try not to lose those. I'm gonna do that all the way around so I have both hands so I won't lose any. Getting these lower ones out was slightly annoying and did take me a little bit of time, but I got this whole thing out other than this clip here, so you don't need to take this out because all you do here is make sure you clear the prop rod. 1, took that one out already, 2, 3, and 4. If we get all of those out, I'm pretty sure that one is actually connected to the headlight and we should be able to pull it out. The one thing that I am concerned about is this front camera has to be wired in somehow. So I just have to be careful when I am pulling it. And it is wired, but it is actually wired from here. And just like that, we have the grill removed. There are actually 2 additional steps if you have a higher trim that I didn't see in the installation guide. So front camera, and you need to remove the washer. So there's this nozzle here, which connects into the bumper, and I'll show the disconnect. So basically there's a little piece that goes here. You need to squeeze in and pull out, and then you can disconnect from here. So these are the 2 parts right here. This is for that spray hose. You need to squeeze this in, and then this is for the camera. You pull the little thing there, and then you can simply take it out. So now we can almost remove this headlight. The problem is there's 1 bolt under there. So in order to get to this bottom bolt here, we have to take this piece off. In order to get this piece off, we gotta take the flare off. Under the flare, there should be a 10 or an 8mm bolt, and then we can simply pull this piece off and then access that bolt there. You gotta take this off. I mean, I'm sure you can access the bolt without taking this piece off, but the thing is, you can't take the light out without having that gone. Coming under the flare, there are these little tabs. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I believe 5. That's 3, 4, and then 5 right here. And then you should be able to just pull this off. It's the easiest parts of the installation that don't go right. I just give up. I don't know why this isn't coming out. You don't need to take it fully off. It would have been 20 times easier if it came fully off. The other one will come off instantly. I see that now, but it's good. I don't understand it. But right through here, there is an 8mm, so I can probably sneak my ratchet through there and just take it out that way. And that's what I'm gonna do for this side. And on the other side, I'll do a better job at showing you, because that one should come out. Of course, now it comes off. And that's how it should come off. I wish Ford did a better job instead of the cheap plastics to use some solid bolts on the fenders. I get they want to make it easy to remove, but it's really not that hard to take 3 bolts out and then maybe have 1 clip, you know, instead of all 5 of them being these cheap, flimsy plastic things. You guys can see now that there's an 8mm bolt right there. See, that one came out easy. So now 1 bolt on the bottom and 1, 2 on the top. Let's take all 3 of those out, and then we need to disconnect the wiring harness, and we should have the light off. So this bottom one is an 8mm, and then I believe the ones on top are both 10mm. Now all 3 bolts are out. We should just be able to go like this, and then there's a tab in here, and I believe all you have to do is pull, and then we are out, and we pull the harness, and the OEM light is out. So if you have a look at the instructions, it wants us to run the wire to the fuse box, getting rid of fuse number 24, and then it wants us to run wires to the battery, as well as wire across to the other side, and hook up everything and then put everything back together. I guess when you're doing aftermarket stuff, there's always going to be a step or something. There's no wire splicing or anything like that, so that's the positive, and this should not be hard at all. So first step into the new wiring stuff, I was reading the diagram. We need to take fuse number 24 out. So this is the fuse box. I'm on the side of the vehicle here. So I come to the fuse box. This is fuse number 24. So this is the new piece we're replacing with. There's 2 fuses instead of 1. I've pulled fuse number 24 out. I have replaced it with the new wiring. So I have changed the direction of this. So now it's gonna go here, and along this with, I believe, the windshield washer fluid line, I have put this, and then underneath this plastic trim is where I'm going to run the one to the other side. Now we wire up the battery. The Bronco has extra terminals for this exact purpose because the new people are going to be doing modifications. So this red goes on this last one here, and the negative here is going to go on this one right here. Alright, we're into the first problem and the first real issue. So everything else has been going smoothly. I'm just taking my time, going through everything. But the one issue we have is this bolt doesn't have a nut. So I found this, and it fits on there. So we got the wiring all hooked up. I found the bolt, like I said before. I hooked this up. Make sure to just point it a little further this way so this can clip in. And then I hooked this side up, coming from here to here, all the way to the negative. And then we are taking this, leading this from here underneath there. And I've put it here for now on top, but I'm probably going to end up running it on bottom because that's where the light connects from anyway. On to the last piece of wiring. This is for the passenger side. One of the sides will have two connectors, which is for the driver's side. So you're going to put this into the driver's side area with the light, and you're going to put this one near the passenger side area with the light. And just like that, we have everything all wired up. So there was the first wire right here that runs to the other side from here. Then there is the newest, or the last wire I should say, that is right here that I'm running through the bottom. Then there is the wire coming from the battery right here. And that is as simple as it is. And just like that, we have the new headlight just held into place. I think that looks awesome. Here is the original. I think both look equally as good. Kind of just taking a step back. It's gonna look really nice and proper once the new headlights are both in and mounted and wired up. So let's take off both the headlights and wire everything up properly. Both headlights are out. What I have done is I have tidied up all the wiring. So there's 3 connectors, 1, 2, 3 on this side, and there should be 5 connectors on the other side. So this is our new headlight. If we come here, this connection right here is actually for a sequential headlight. If you don't want sequential headlights, remove this wiring before you put everything in. I'm gonna leave them sequential and see how I like it. If I don't like it, I can always unplug it. So just locate all of the plugs. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing should fit into anything else. All of them are pretty different from each other. Everything should be in, just double checking I don't have any there, and this headlight is officially wired. This is literally just to hold it in place, so you don't even want to go that far in or anything like that. So just like that, this is held into place by one singular bolt and everything is plugged in. Now let's do the passenger side. And now we gotta make sure everything works. But look at those headlights, those actually look awesome. So running through all the tests, right now we have brights on, brights are working. Turn the brights off. That's working. We turn the lights completely off. That is the daytime running lights right there. So this is how the sequential looks. At first it's kind of a little hard to tell, but that's the sequential option right there. So if we come here, the truck is off. We can see everything factory works. We lock, all of the lights turn off. We unlock, and all of the lights, including the new headlights, turn on. So now that we know these work, we need to put them fully in. Make sure to put that tab back in and clip this in and put the other bolt on the bottom there. After that, you can put the bolt on the side and put the lower trim piece back on, put the grill on, and then put that back on. And I'm gonna tuck the wires and I'll show you how I do everything. But just like that, the Bronco is all back together. If we come right here, this is how I wired it. So one wire is going right here, all the way along, and the other wire is actually hidden really well. And all of them are kind of just hidden up against this. All of this is back in right here, all the trim pieces, and the Bronco is fully back together. And it has a slight different look, and I think it looks really good. It just makes it feel a little bit more special and a little different. When you look at it now, it slightly looks different. I'm gonna wait for the sun to set a little bit more, and then I'll show you guys all of the different turn signal features and everything in the dark. And this is how it looks after. These are the white daylight running lights. As you can see, it is white. You can make these amber if you want. You can get the amber option. I chose the white option now that I remember back, because clearly they were white. But let me turn the lights fully on. With the lights fully on, you get a little bit of amber with the green, and I think that looks awesome. It gives the Bronco a whole different kind of feel. Turn on the sequential LED turn signals, and that is how the Bronco turned out. And I think it turned out exceptionally well. So here's the Bronco at night. I have just the emergency lights running right now with the sequential. So this is headlights on, and it definitely looks really good. Here's a better shot kind of at how it looks. The camera kind of distorts the lights. That's all I have for this video though. Huge shout out to Morimoto. Again, if you want to check out these headlights check the description down below and click that link. But leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.